Greetings, one and all, to this week's episode of Tenno Clock. I am Xeno, and we are joined by a murder, Dr. Loz.
That's a little snotty, but I'm mostly back. I'm here.
Feeling better.
I'm here. Yeah.
All about feeling better. Right, so, but we're going to do what we do every week. We are going to do Emblems. Loz wins.
Oh, it's big, don't I? Let's have a look at that. Oh, yeah, come on, yours is poop.
Yeah, but it's love poop. It's pink love poop.
No, it isn't.
What do you mean? What do you mean, no, it isn't?
It's
pink love poop.
Evol poop.
Evol poop?
Yeah, what you don't realise is you think that's part of the word. It's actually going the other way around.
Oh, okay. Okay, evolve poop. Okay, got it.
Evolution poop.
Right. But yes, no, Loz's wins because it's weird, chaotic, supersonic with avoid key. So
yep. Appreciated
that one. But if you wish to win 75 platinum, oh wait. I do this now. This is
you do what?
This is me now. I control this now.
Ah.
Yeah. If you wish to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice, go into the description below. Well, you'll find this week's forms. So this week's Google Forms with all the questions and all the shenanigans and everything, and fill it in, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice. Make sure you spell your in-game name correct, because if you spell it wrong, no one gets platinum for that platform. Yeah. So there you go. Right. I'm going to clear that. And now it is time to do Dojo Dusting. Right. So I said last week that unfortunately, due to timing complications, we didn't do platinum giveaway the week that we weren't here. But we have a platinum giveaway now. So for PC, we have Zrugel. For PlayStation, we have Kofan Ma. For Xbox, we have Auden Karis 574. And for Switch, have a guess who Switch is, Loz.
Tucker wins.
Tucker wins. There you go.
We still don't know how that's going to work for once cross-play save way is here, do we?
No, we don't. But I'm sure they'll work it out ahead of us, and we won't have to work out anything at all. We just do what we're told.
Yeah.
Right. Also, on Twitter, there is a Revenant Prime Access giveaway, thanks to DE.
Oh, yeah, I have to buy that. I should buy that.
Yep. And if you go into the description below, you'll find a link to the giveaway. Unfortunately, it is via Twitter, but, the rules and everything are on the actual tweet of how you actually do it. When you're actually commenting and retweeting, make sure you do those as two separate things, not retweet with a comment. It doesn't count. It's impossible to track those. So, yep, because Twitter's API sucks. Right, okay, so I think that is it Dojo Dusting wise. I can't think of anything else. Okay, there's a little bit of news. I've started doing streams. I think I'll stream playing Warframe when I'm getting the footage for 10 o'clock. So if anyone's seen me stream this week, you'll have seen this footage, or last week you'll have seen this week's footage. But yeah, I typically try to stream no later than Wednesday for Warframe, but it's just completely off the cuff. I will work out something to do announcements in the future, but yeah.
You still buy Prime Access?
Can you, or do I?
Do you?
Yes. Do you want to hear a funny story?
Do I want to hear a funny? Just tell me the story. Why are you asking me the question?
So, yesterday I remembered I need to buy Korra Prime Access, and with some antics at work, and I felt very stressed, I decided after work I was going to take a nap. I woke up just as the patch was about to go live, and I went, oh crap, I got to buy Korra. So I frantically, at 7 p.m. our time, like the time it was the patch was being deployed and everything, was attempting to buy Korra.
Yeah.
And I normally buy it through Steam.
Yeah.
But something went weird, and there was too many redirects, and I was just getting forwarded to Warframe's FAQs about Steam doing too many redirects. So I put the money on my Steam wallet to buy it, and I couldn't buy it. And I was like, oh dear God, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, screw it. I'll I'll buy it via PayPal and then try to get the money back later. If I don't get the money back, then it'll just go on Revenant Prime.
Yeah.
Right? So I managed to get it via PayPal. And I then messaged. I went to Steam's like refund system. I was able to select the money that I put into the Steam wallet, requested a refund, explained what had happened, and they gave me a refund. I was just like, all because I didn't actually buy her at a timely manner. Loz is going to say, I don't see the humor in that.
Where's the punchline?
I didn't say it was funny, ha ha. I said it's funny.
You said it was funny. I'm confused. This isn't funny. It's just you sucking.
Isn't it funny when
job.
I suck? There you go.
Not really. No, it's not, because you could have missed out and I've been sad. No,
I
fine.
did luck out. I did luck out, and because it was past the time and everything, but I did manage to get her, which is good.
See, I know you buy it towards the end, and I assume you'll buy thingy towards the other end when it's about to go.
No, it's typically down to finances.
Well,
so
just try and do a bit of squeeze and get it the other end. That way you don't have to.
No, I that's what I would normally do, but the last couple of months have been really expensive.
Wait, is cross-platform play a thing now? Is that in the game?
So they're currently running. Well, I mean, might as well let's just jump into the war report. Right now they are running the second, what's called cross-platform test between PC and Xbox. They ran the first one sometime last week before the dev stream. And it went horribly wrong. No one could join any games, and they had to turn it off fairly quickly. So they've turned it back on, and they plan to leave it on for the time being. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. What else has happened? We've had the Knights of Nabris has started this week. We've had Revenant Prime come out. Tenno Toba has started, which is a little community art event. I can't think of anything else. I know there's been some concept art stuff appearing on Soulframe, but beyond that, no, I can't think of much else. So, right, should we move on to? Oh yeah, there was also oh shit! What was there was a Null Star Augment nerf that came in as well, which a lot of people got very vocal about. Where it's like, oh, this is top meta, and it's like, well, basically you stood around and you were just destroying stuff, and no. Anyway, right. So I think that is it for the war report. It is time to move on to the topics. Right, so topic 1 is making you slowly Kahl walk down a long hallway on the off chance that there is a collectible at the end is bad design. Topic 2, it's kind of hilarious how much time and effort has gone into reworking the game simply because Cautious Shot didn't apply to bows. And topic 3, which we will go over this week, player made for Morians. Right, okay, so topic 1, making you slowly Kahl walk down a long hallway on the off chance that there is a collectible at the end is bad design. It is not exciting, it is not engaging, it is not rewarding regardless of the outcome, it is not interesting. It was not made boring through repetition, it was made boring the very first time. If I had an Easter egg hunt for kids, but I brought them into a building and just put a 0 to 1 eggs at the end of separate long hallways, it would cease to be a fun game and become a boring, tedious punishment. That is the design philosophy of whoever populated these maps, and it is trash. Full stop. Okay. So, Loz, you have done some.
I've done all three.
You've done all three of
There's only three, yeah?
yeah. But
Yeah,
like
I've done all three.
the first time you do the Murex is the quest, and
I've done the Murex twice.
you've done the
If you're
Murex
counting
twice,
it that way.
right? So out of interest, how often do you go through the missions and do all of the side objectives?
I always do all the side objectives.
All of them.
Yep.
Cool.
I don't normally manage it in one run, but I don't stress myself trying to do it in one run. I sometimes take 2 runs or 3 runs, I think. They bug out occasionally on me, which is really annoying.
Okay.
Like the time I did the Fortuna one and the spider decided to fall through the universe.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there like, there's a ship. Can I extract? Nope. 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 No spider coming back? Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay, game. That was fun.
Yeah, so I assume you can relate to what this individual's talking about. You got the Murex ship where you're going down these really
The Murex was the worst of the 3.
Yeah.
The Murex is definitely the worst. It has... So, obviously you've got the find the gene things, which is random Grineer corpses, but not all the corpses. So that one you just find, and it does give you a waypoint when you get close to them. So as long as you do the map, you'll probably walk near everything and it'll pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hang on, am I going to sneeze?
You might.
Sorry. My apologies. Then there's also the find the floof, which is quite a large floof, I would say. It isn't small, and it is not like hidden behind a rock or something. It's just quite obvious. I did do that mission, I think, twice. Why did I have to do that mission twice? Oh, because this is the more thing I got annoyed about on that mission was the. Oh, in fact, I don't think I've even finished it, actually. Yeah, do you know on the Murex, because I've got the Murex this week. I think I missed it when it was first available, so I had to redo it. The one where it's finding the codes. I find that more disagreeable because there's a chunk in the halfway through the mission where you have to go do the floating on the ship.
Yeah.
If you miss something, you can't go back.
Yeah.
You have no way of knowing if you've gotten all of them. Yeah. First time I did it, I found 2 of them afterwards and 1 before, and I must have missed 1 before because I couldn't find it. Second time, okay, I'm going to redo this. I found 3 before that section. I was like, okay, well, it's clearly going to be 1 afterwards. Went afterwards, nope.
So I get entirely where you're coming from. I feel that all of those collectible things should be on the
Oh, sorry. So you're fighting this thing, right? Because I've seen these things. I know the thing goes up, but I see them just going vulnerable, and I shoot the thing when it goes up in the air, and they still just go invulnerable. I do not get these mobs.
No,
They're
you understand
terrible.
to shoot the utility belt as well, right?
Yeah, you shoot the utility belt, you shoot the orb when it goes up, and it's like sometimes you do that, and they die like that. And other times they just like, no, I'm immune. It's like, but I shot the bubble one up. Yep, and I'm shooting the utility belt. Yep. What are you doing? I think they just must bug out or something.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Annoys me. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, you said about the Kahl missions.
Crap, what was it? I feel that in these sorts of situations where in the Murex one, all the stuff has to spawn on the second half, right? There's no room to. I mean, granted, I don't know. They were talking about having it so that when you got a certain, the like the gene samples and things, if you got 3 of 5, they were cumulative, so you could get just 2 on the next run and be done. I don't know if they ever implemented that. They were looking into it.
Well, that one you couldn't because you had to open a chest.
Yes.
And you needed 4 things for it. So it's like...
Yeah. To me, like, there was one thing with the Murex that really frustrated me. Was one of my gene samples was behind the exit point. Right? So if I walked straight to the exit, I would have missed it. I thought to myself, I only had 1 left. And I thought to myself, sod's law, it's by there. And instead of actually walking straight to the exit, I walked all the way around and there it was. So again, I feel like that should be removed. Because it would be so, because I know people that have actually just walked right past it. I'm like, oh, well, that's not fun. But yeah, I do agree. I think a solution for this is you start the Murex with the jetpack. Make it so that the jetpack has better controls and you can just go forward, right? So you know, and yeah, it still has the time or the duration or whatever, but you just start the jetpack and you can push yourself further forward. Yeah, I think that would be such a simpler solution than anything else.
As soon as you start with the jetpack, I don't have much issue with it once you have the jetpack. I find it's fine for moving around. And also when you're running with Kahl, just keep dashing. Because him running plus dashing stops him panting and it is a little bit faster.
The jetpack doesn't add... if it adds any speed, it's negligible.
It feels good though.
You get faster by like sort of like helicopter just falling up for, do you know what I mean?
Helicopter falling up?
Well, no. So you oh god, no, I'm explaining it badly. Basically, you go up a bit, you lean forward, you stop hovering, and as you fall, you actually gain more speed. Yeah. But yeah, I personally I would make it so that the controls for the jetpack were better. I mean, hell, we can see the oh god, is it Arid Grenier with the jetpacks? They seem to have much better controls over them than we do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have any other comments. Are there any other frustrating parts to these missions? Maybe not just
no. So yeah, I loved the Venus one, the Fortuna one. I thought that was the best. With because it had a time limit. It had good. It felt like it was definitely various sections. You were pressed at the start when you had to dodge around. Then you get the bit where you have to get the weapon and deal with it, and then you're on your way out and you fight a boss. It was good. I would like more of that. I'd like bigger ones. I'd like more challenge modes for that. I'd like harder timers and things. I liked redoing it. At first, I'm like, oh, it's scary, and I was like, oh, am I going to do it in time? It's like, no, I didn't care, and I just enjoyed it. And there's good that there's no limitation on the amount of times you can try. There's no you have to get a perfect run. You can do some objectives one run, some objectives next run. This is all good. Very simple to do it. Just needs more. I don't get why we can't have more faster. I don't. All three of them, though, there are a few new assets, like I think a new exit tile for the Fortuna one. I'm not sure if there's a new tile on the Murex, and there's definitely the waterfall tile on the Earth one is a new tile. There's definitely a few new tiles, but in reality, I would prefer on this. Quantity over quality is definitely what I would like to see. And it's just the voice acting. So it's just like reuse tiles, populate tiles with items to pick up or spawn locations for items to pick up, and then add in voice lines which don't even have to be that much, because it's very grunt. It is literally grunt work. That's what Kahl is doing. He's doing grunt work and he's a grunt. So it's like it doesn't need a lot of invoking dialogue each time where he has to discover the origins of the Orokin. He just needs a little bit of witty repertoire with him and daughter, and job done. New weekly mission done. I was shocked when you told me there's only 3. I was like, really?
Yeah, I was shocked to only find out there was 3.
Yeah. it just feels really weedy to me. I was like, come on, that's the Earth one, especially that the Murex one is the weakest of the ones I would say, because obviously it's reused from the quest. In fact, they made 2, because one's the quest, and the quest one, and I think that's maybe why the Murex one feels so weak on the objectives as well, because there's no time limit option, there's no. There's nothing creative in the options of that one. It's find gene samples, find floof, find things to open box. Use the thingy thing on people's face.
That's always one.
That's 4. I can't remember what the other 2 are.
Don't die.
Don't die. Yeah, that's always there. 5. There's one more, I think.
Floof dudes.
Oh, it's use dudes to command dudes to smash objects.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so these are the weakest objectives. Like on the other ones. When I first did the Earth one, I think that's something like kill things within a few seconds or something. Kill 5 enemies within 3 seconds. I didn't realize, I completely forgot about the deveil device, and so I was like trying to do it solo. I managed it as well. No Grineer allies. I assume with the Grineer allies it's easy, but at least that was like a challenge. I enjoyed it. I was actually enjoying trying to get enemies together, weaken them down, and do it with just the gun that I had. I thought this is interesting. It's a good challenge. I realized you can get allies to assist you. I'm like, oh, okay. But and then the time limit on the other one, also good, interesting idea for challenge, like doing it quickly. Add some more options, more alarms, more cameras, and then like do without being detected. The challenge. That if they were actually trying to put some complexity into this. Whereas the Murex one is literally just find everything under the sun, and then ask a few people to smash things, which is like, ugh. So that's why it's so weak.
I think one I would like for the Venus one is don't get detected. I think that one would work well for don't get detected. I think the Murex one you would struggle because there's so much empty space in there. So
what you would do is you wouldn't have, for the Murex one, you wouldn't have sentience going up, and you'd put Archons in there, because for some reason no Archons, because Archons are great. They're like walking security cameras. Brilliant. Put some of those in there, and then add in the traps, the orb traps in the walls that sentients have.
Yes. Yeah.
Do things like that, and then maybe also add in bring the old mimics back, and then have it that Kahl can detect a mimic now and then or something, or you can, if you veil break as a mimic, it stuns it, or it traps it as things you can fly by, or have him hack a console to check mimics in an area or something. There's so many things you could do if you want to put more effort into it. But so, seeing as there's not much to them, I expect greater quantity than this. They're not that great. They're great, and I would like more, but they're not. There's nothing new really. They're basic gameplay stuff. For a third-person game, like it's just a few triggers.
I know that D have said that they're not planning to expand.
No. I think the way you described it is they are planning to expand it, but they are all hands on Deviri at the moment.
Yeah. So there is supposed to be an Echoes of Veilbreaker, so like a 0.5 update. But I think I could be wrong. They said that they're not planning on introducing any new missions or anything like that. And I'm like, really? But
so we're just going to do the same 3 missions every 3 weeks
until they come back to
until you don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
that's same old, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, yeah. So as for the person's complaint though, that about going down on corridors and things, I wouldn't say it's too bad. It's the worst one is you only have to do one every 3 weeks, which is the Murex.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth one's not as bad, and the Fortuna one I enjoy doing. So yeah, but the other thing you could say is you could just skip them. You don't have to do every objective every week. There's nothing forcing you to do it.
Yeah.
So there's that too. So it's optional.
I'm just trying to think.
I'm behind. There's some people who try and like do everything. It's like, oh no, I've got to stay at maximum shards or whatever. I'm like, no, just don't. Just do what you want. Do what you can. Just let it go.
Well, maybe there should be something which is like an expensive upgrade with Kahl, which is like, hey, you can move faster while you're on your jetpack. Maybe we should actually
how about let's give him a talent tree?
Yeah, I was just going to say permanent upgrades, but a talent.
Yeah, no, exactly. No. I mean, it's the same. This should be like a Torghast system for Warframe.
Do you want to elaborate for people?
Bones. So Torghast is a repeater piece of content in World of Warcraft, which is a third-person MMO. It's to encourage you to keep going back and doing a piece of content, and it's a procedurally generated map tile thing where you do floors of a tower, and you go up so many towers, and you finish the thing, and then you can do the same thing again, yet harder. Then there's different wings to rotate to each week. So sometimes you have the flame tower room, and sometimes the ice tower rooms. So there's the variety, but the goal is to make it difficult, challenging, and to make you keep going back. And in that, you would get random upgrades per run, and then when the run's finished, they're all gone. But at the same time, you would get permanent upgrades, so that doing the towers to start with is hard, but then as time goes by, it becomes easier and more efficient. And you can have that sort of thing for Kahl, because he's fixed in what power he has. So if they add the power, like if they add modded Grakata upgrades, and you put each week you get 1 talent point. You can put up to 10 into modded Grakata, and it does 5% more damage. There we go. It would make it quicker to kill things. We can have move speed in there. We can have. I'm surprised it doesn't have stamina. I think they should have given them stamina, and then we can remove it with this. And then or jetpack fuel, or modify jetpack that goes horizontally. If you double tap rather than hold.
The one I would love. So with Torghast is it refreshes weekly. Are you proposing that with this?
Well, no, he does.
So,
huh? That's what he does, refresh weekly.
No. With the talent tree, I'm talking about.
What do you mean refresh weekly?
With Torghast, it refreshes each time you run it.
Right? No. Okay. You must not have noticed that when you went to the Forge Man.
Yeah.
If you kept doing Torghast, there's a talent tree just for Torghast in that room you upgrade.
I did not know that at all.
You do not know. Yeah, and you get like certain buffs and certain things. So yeah, you're thinking of the perks per run. Yes, yeah.
Fuck, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would make, after a while, you'd get damage buffs, or you'd have things which would mean your buffs from your thing would last longer, or you'd get multiple options. Actually, there was an upgrade from outside the thing. But yeah, so there's ways of making runs easier over time as well. And that's what they can do with this. They can just give them run speed things. But it's just the entry level.
Yeah. No.
So all this potential they could make of this cool system. Come on, we everyone wanted like PvP. This is so cool, controlling enemy units. Maybe we could do a lot with it. And again, they just.
No. I feel that Kahl has like the biggest potential for improvement that players will be happy with. I mean, we do have some salt right here on display, but I think that if DE were to expand it, people would be happy and people would be welcoming to expansion of this.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like if DE were to expand the Arcwing system, I don't think the player base would be happy with that at all. That's my point. I think people would be happy if this was expanded, but the things like Railjack, people really don't want to do Railjack. People don't want to do Arcwing.
But that's part of the problem. It's like, so there'll be people out there who say, well, I don't want to do Kahl, and thus they shouldn't do Kahl. Upgrades.
Yeah.
They think the problem is they just need to decide this is what the game is. We're doing this. If you don't enjoy it, I'm sorry. This is what the game is now.
Yep. I don't.
My 6 degrees of freedom back.
Oh god, yeah, I know, right? I don't really have anything else to say. Do we want to jump to replies?
Nope. Yep. Let's go. Oh wait, I still do those, don't I? Let me find a window.
Yes, you do.
I have them there. Oh, replies. This week, I'm almost done with everything, except I couldn't find the last gene tag, so I'm not replying it for gene tag. I did all but one first try, not doing it again. Yeah, good. That's fine. Yeah. You don't have to. There'll be more resources in the future. There's no. This is a shocking thing. Even though that the Archon shards are a really great resource, and it's just a direct, like, you plug this in, it gives you a raw stat. It's not like arcanes where you're like, oh, do I want this arcane? But I need to have pistols. And this is, if I combine it with this other arcane, that if I crouch while spinning, while shooting someone in the foot with a nail gun, I buff my rifle by 1 billion damage. It's like, no. It's just you put shard in. So, but at the same time, we still don't need them for anything.
No.
No, there's no pressing need.
Yeah.
Not yet. No. No pressing need. Yes, this. No. I hate not ceasing. So yeah, there's no pressing need that, like, oh yeah, to be able to get through, because Warframe doesn't work like this. But if we want to get the new next raid boss done, we're gonna need someone. I'm gonna have to go do those shards, because I need to get 5 normal, not Tau shards, but at least 5 normal ones. I need to get my health pool over, I don't know, 8,500 so that I can tank the energy beam on the next sentient boss. No, there's nothing like that. And also, we're going to be having this... What? Okay, so we've got Deviri coming out, which I doubt will use our Warframes for very much anyway. So that's not going to need it. But so And then after that, what? That's going to be our.
No, I can imagine our Warframes are going to come in for Devere.
No, but not needed in an extreme level like hardcore raid.
It's
Get like I'm saying. Yeah. So it's not going to push our Warframes to the limit, kind of thing that we might need these shards for. Oh, you better get all 5 Tau shards in there. Okay, so you're not going to need that. So okay. After this is probably Devere is probably going to come out. What, December? We're thinking December. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. When's our next content release after that? Because we know how this cycle works. We've been doing this for what? April, May, yeah. Earliest end of March. Earliest.
Yeah.
And that's an early, which seeing as we don't even know what comes after Devere, April's earliest really, but yeah. So you're going to have plenty of months of getting shards and getting stuff from here. Who cares? Just miss them for now.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Go sit in the Overwatch 2 queue.
Oh my god. No, please don't.
Next point. DE, just give us stock for completing the mission so I can brute force getting stuff.
No.
So
No,
I love this. Side objectives. God, I have to go do things now. Oh, well, yeah, just brute force it, get your basic stuff done, and come back later. I'm gonna go repeat it 2 or 3 times because I want to.
Yeah.
Oh.
One thing I will say, I want it to be a lot more obvious as to when it's going to reset, right?
Oh, but I would say that's, I agree with you, but I would say that's teething issues, and I think that's set.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem I have with it is, so the Murex one, I failed the don't die because for whatever reason, maybe I just suck. What's his name? The wolf was constantly somehow knocking me out of the air, and if I stood behind a surface, I just wasn't regenerating my health. It was just...
Did you not have like 9 Grineer by that point and 1 corpus?
I had gajillion. No, I had 2 corpus, Loz.
Oh wow, you 2.
Yeah, I had 2, but I wasn't able to regen my health in the slightest. So
weird.
Yeah, it was super weird. I think it was bugged, but it doesn't matter. I'm like, I'll just, after I come back from this weekend, I'll do it. Came back, is like, oh no, it's already changed over. What do you mean it's already changed over? Yeah, they changed it over on Sunday instead of Wednesday. I thought they were doing them on Wednesdays. Yeah, they changed their mind again. Like, oh, don't do that.
It's teasing issues. It's just, just log in every day, check it if you're desperate about it. But if not, who cares?
Yeah,
it's not
the smallest problem of all.
Like, I compare this to like a World of Warcraft thing where let's say the Torghast thing. When the game first came out, I was doing my Torghast every week because you'd get a limited resource from doing your Torghast that would be used to improve your legendary item, which was really important. So being a week behind meant your legendary was a week behind. Warframe does nothing like that. If I miss 10 stock, that means I'm behind by I'm only 0.98 towards my next shard versus everyone else.
Let's take it back a notch, because if you don't do it, it means that you don't get a shard. But the problem is there's no need for the shards at the moment, right? Whereas there was the need for upgrading your
whatever resource. It wasn't even that much. It wasn't even that much of improvement. But yeah, at least there was you are behind in that. Whereas this is more shards. Trust me. I definitely promise you, January and February next year, dead zone.
Yeah,
dead zone. Every year for the last 9 years, it's been dead zone. January, February, every year. That's 4 weeks of getting shards. 8 weeks of getting shards. That's what, minimum 8 plus how many of you get from if getting yourself up to the 5th level and getting them from thingy, which everyone should be buying between now and January. So that's what, 16 shards.
Yeah.
Right. Be more calm. If anyone here plays Destiny 2, you might have seen Cabal Scions sprinting around using their jetpacks to give them a boost. They should allow Kahl to do the same thing when he has the Helion pack. Excuse me. Have it work just like the Necromech slide boost thing. Yeah. If you give it a talent tree, have it, because he already has a dash. Just have it that when he has the Helion pack and he uses a dash,
it pushes him
he dashes forward. Yeah, you see, that's needs to be an upgrade.
Yeah.
Or just make them purchasable upgrades from what's his name?
Chipper.
Yeah,
I was thinking that because you got the purchasable upgrades for the codex scanners, right? Or the Samara scanner. So that's what I was envisioning, and then you could pick whichever ones you want. But I kind of also like, for Kahl, I do kind of like the idea of a talent tree, because then you're locked into specifically upgrading specific parts.
Yeah, last one is another option is anytime you find one of the side objectives, you get clues for the next closest genetic code, part, veil option thing.
Nah, make it a thing that you got like a radar on you that makes it ping if you're within 10, 15, 20 meters of it, right? And again, you can make it so that as part of the talent tree, it will
increase the range that activates or picks up things. Or maybe it is a passive pulse, but then you upgrade it and it happens more often. And maybe make it a really large. This is how you can make it so that people keep going back. Make it that you don't start up with it, but a talent tree lets you pick it up, but it only works for, let's say, 10 meters once every 30 seconds. And then slowly over time you can upgrade it. But then the maximum upgrade, which can cost, I don't know, 1,000 stock, if that's a lot or not. But now you have a permanent 30-meter wide radar.
Yeah.
For picking up, and it shows you where everything is.
Yeah.
There we go. Put these things in. You might think like, oh well, why will people do it? It's like people like
will do
doing things. Give people small objectives, and they will do it.
People want the path of least resistance, regardless. Right?
No, also people. No. I mean more. You put a hoop in front of people, and they jump. That someone will jump through it.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, you might think like, no one's going to jump through this. There are people who play Superman 64.
Right. Okay.
Right.
There are some people that go and actually do an insane achievement on an MMO where you have to max out reps between two opposing factions. So if you do one of them, it subtracts from the other. How many? Sorry, but you have to.
Not true.
Anymore.
No. I did it where if you do one stupid way, you get Goblin rep back without losing your Blood Cell rep.
But didn't you have to have them both at the same time?
No.
I thought you did.
You don't have to get no. You don't have to have the reps at the same time. You just have to have achieved them. Like they get ticked off when you achieve them. Most people don't bother. They get the Blood Cell rep up, and then they just start massacring Blood Cells to get the Booty Bay back up. I have both.
And then there are some morons, right, that take it a step further. No, because I could have sworn after the actual.
Nope, you don't have to have them. No, you don't. Oh, no, you don't have to have them all together.
No, I could have sworn because you got the achievement, and then someone else we knew.
Oh no!
Got
no. They changed. They removed one of the reps. Is what happened.
Oh, okay.
They removed the Diamol rep because that reputation doesn't exist anymore, so they removed it for anyone who later got the achievement. But then they added a secondary feat of strength for people who did have it, like me.
Right. I'm an idiot. Like an idiot.
But I also did, so I did it harder in multiple ways.
Yeah. So you got
no gain. Yep.
You got some idiots that will not only jump through the hoop, but will also ask if you want tea and crumpets as well.
No, we'll also say, shall I do it while I'm fire? Like, that's not a requirement for jumping the hoop, but I could. Would you like me to? You don't have to. I'm gonna.
I think it's safe if I do this, because who knows? There might be a requirement later that requires me to do it. But then we'll just get you to do it again then. It's like, no, it's fine. I'll do it now. And,
don't worry. I'll do it now. Get it done right away.
Oh, God. Anyway, right. So, I mean, a talent tree, I think, could go very far for, this sort of system entirely for Kahl. And was there one more? No. Oh, yeah, that was the last one. So, yeah. I think it's certainly a good stepping stone. I kind of wish that they didn't immediately jump on board Deviri and gave this time to grow, because the problem is it feels like a half-finished system, much like the Liches, and it won't get its full day until after the next major update, which will then that won't see its day until the next major update. Yeah. Right.
Well, okay. I think they've got them. My more worry is that I think they've really stumbled on something really nice that fits into Warframe and they could do a lot with. And I like that it makes it feel different because you're depowered to a set level and they could expand that. That's why War Within was so cool and unique. And then this is kind of building upon that. And it's like, right, okay, yeah, but do more with it. And I feel like they'll go, oh yeah, we'll totally do more with it. And then they'll, I don't know, add 2 more missions in this Veilbreaker Plus thing, which adds a little bit more daughter Kahl talking because everyone loves that, and then they'll be just pointless, and that's it. And then they'll be like, "Yeah, that's done now." And I was like, "But you could do more," and they're like, "No, but that's done."
There is one thing that I'm interested to know your opinion on. How do you feel about the immersion breaking of going between Kahl and your character and then Kahl? How do you feel?
Not at all, because we have that in New War.
I know we have that in New War, but my question to you is, how do you feel about it? Don't mind? Don't care?
I don't mind it, and I wish they did more with it, because finally they could do the whole. I loved the quest when you came in as a Tenno, and then it swapped to you doing Kahl, and then at the end you board the Tenno ship because daughter asks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can finally do survival missions where an operative is doing something. Yeah. You start a survival mission and it hops to Kahl. And wouldn't it be cool if you could hop back and forward, and that it gives you mission objectives going each through? Because obviously the game can handle you going between 2 things. Apparently, it did it once. I'm sure it can do that. So it could be like you start the mission, right, and you've got to go, right, how long do you want to do survival? And you build up time, and then when you finish that time, it then gives you that amount of time with Kahl. Mm-hmm. So you could be like, okay, you go 10 minutes and just do a quick Kahl mission, or you can go 30 minutes and you get a quick Kahl mission. And then maybe you could have it what you do in the Kahl mission then affects the next round of you could do in 10-minute chunks. Yeah, you could do 10 minutes, then you do Kahl's 10 minutes. But then what happens in Kahl's 10 minutes makes the next 10 minutes for the Warframe harder. Yep. There's so many options you can do, man.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Right, only if Squad Link was a thing. Right, okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Topic 2.
I don't have to press buttons.
You don't. And they just work for me, weirdly. It's so weird how they just work. I know I don't have to mash them.
I have to push them multiple times. Yeah, I have to mash them.
It's kind of hilarious how much time and effort has gone into reworking the game simply because cautious shot did not apply to bows.
Oh, I have to educate myself.
For a long time, the complaint of self-damage weapons was that any scratch they caused was automatically lethal. Eventually, they introduced a mod, Cautious Shot, that would massively reduce your self-damage. After quite a bit of tweaking...
Do you want me to read out do you know what Cautious Shot is?
Well, I imagine it turns lethal damage into non-lethal damage.
100% chance to reduce the stagger effect from self-imposed radial attacks.
That's going to be what it currently is, what it originally was.
Patch history. Self-damage. Okay, self-damage reduced by Cautious Shot increased from 90. So it was self-damage to 99%. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. After quite a bit of tweaking, they finally got it so the mod worked as intended. Hitting yourself would deal 100 or 2. I assume that's 100 to 200 damage. When we entered an age of people actually using self-damaging weapons. Then the Brahma came out. Cautious Shot couldn't be slotted on it because it was a whole different mess behind the scenes, they told us. Every single weapon that had a radial attack gained self-stagger, where before many of them didn't even deal self-damage. Every single weapon that had a radial attack gained damage drop-off, where they actually set the drop-off per weapon instead of just going for a blanket number. Unfortunately, this contributed to the AoE meta. So to combat it, they nerfed the Wukong's clone, and all Spectres to use ammo, reworked all ammo drops, changed ammo max for all AoE weapons and many others. I mean, I'm just gonna say it right now. This just feels like the person's just complaining for the sake of complaining.
Yeah.
Right.
What? I'm also confused. That's not why they did stuff.
Yeah, it really isn't. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's your take on the whole why they changed it?
Well, they changed it to stop people AoE farming things without playing the game.
Yeah.
It was a whole push to. They've always done things like this, automation in the game. Like
Yeah.
Sentinels. The big thing with Sentinels is after, I think, a minute of you AFKing, well, originally, I don't know if it changed a wave, but they would just stop shooting.
Yeah.
It was to stop people just standing on defense tiles with super powerful Sentinels, and then it will just massacre everything for you, and you just stay there and you pick up the loot.
Yeah. Like the whole reason why they quote unquote nerfed Wukong or Wukong's clone was to stop the AFK meta effectively.
Yeah, it wasn't a subversion of the stagger. I mean, yeah, okay, it did subversion stagger, but it was more things like it didn't use ammo.
Yeah. It was also pinpoint accurate. It was like a sniper with the AoE weapons. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you not know that one?
No, I never used it.
Yeah. So you just AFK and just ignore the thing, right? It was a huge problem. The whole reason why the Azuma, right? Do you remember? Like you're like, oh, it can't be that bad. Oh God, it's that bad.
Yeah, I remember watching you fight some stuff with it, and I was
no. You did this. The Azuma, the pistol that threw out the turrets.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I want this to last. Was it 10 minutes per thing?
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, but you can only have one out at a time.
Nope.
Nothing was stopping me having them millions of them out. Like, this is an issue.
Yeah. And they addressed it.
I don't think they addressed it in the right way, personally, but at least they addressed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the dev stream they were talking about bringing back self damage, but for it to work in different ways. So, for example, the how it works dependent on whether or not you fired it at your feet or whether or not someone jumped in your shot and things like that. I think self damage should come back. We have been advocates for it to come back.
Yeah.
Self stagger is completely nullified by Prime Sure Footed, and Prime Sure Footed just becomes a mandatory mod.
Yeah. Mods are bad.
Yeah. I don't see what I don't think Cautious Shot would have solved this. And it makes sense why the Brahma was a problem. Do you see why the Brahma was a problem?
No.
So the Brahma fires an arrow which explodes on impact and then drops like cluster grenades, which then explode themselves. Right? It's a So you've got multiple packets of explosions. So how would the Brahma work with Cautious Shot? Would it count as only one explosion, or would it count as multiple explosions? How would you even calculate that? How would you calculate the damage source? Right?
Yeah, people would have been annoyed if it was like, okay, the initial explosion stagger is prevented, but because the secondary explosions aren't really shot by the gun, they're shot by what the gun shoots. They're not technically the gun belonging to the entity that is the gun, and so the mod's not set up to understand and the damage that the stagger that does.
Engine, but yeah, pretty much. So it's just like, it's so they went for an option that they thought was going
However,
to be a alternative.
I do want to, though I do consider like pushback and things, I will always remember the case of we can't do the Dark Split Sword, but oh, look at these Incarnon weapons.
Yeah.
When Dark Split Sword.
Yeah. Are you going to create a forum post? When Dark Split
Sword? When my face back, so I'll wait on that one.
So I feel that this post, again, fair amount of salt. I don't think they're particularly wrong with cautious shot, but at the same time, I don't think that was the be all and end all.
No, I don't think if there was like cautious bow shot, let's say, I don't think we'd still be having the same changes we recently had for the.
I mean,
exactly.
I feel that one of the biggest problems was Rivens, because Rivens just changed the damage output. You know.
Oh my god! As someone, I'm standing in thingy, and there's a person with an Xbox sign in their name. Wow!
Where are you standing?
I'm trying to go out onto the Deimos. Yeah.
Okay.
They've got an Xbox thing at the end of their name. Well, they play on Xbox.
What? Yeah, they must play on Xbox.
They must play on Xbox.
Must mean they play.
That's so cool.
Mad scientist. But yeah. Any other thoughts?
Crossplay is cool.
Crossplay is cool. Right, should we go to the replies?
Yeah. Cautious Shot is a stupid mod that shouldn't have been in the game in the first place. It's a band-aid that doesn't actually do anything to fix the problems other than offer a false choice. You need all those slots on your gun to make them perform. Unless you're running content so piss easy, you might as well use something else anyway. I agree, it's a band-aid. That's what it was originally intended as, a band-aid.
But what
should have been removed.
What should have been removed?
When they changed it from self-damage to stagger, they should have removed
a bunch of them.
Cautious Shot.
Yeah.
It's like stagger, anti-stagger should have been a sole purview of Warframe mods, because it was all stagger, not just your gun stagger.
I don't understand.
Well, Prime sure-footed.
Yeah.
You're saying for Cautious Shot, one of the problems was because when you've got a gun, an explosion, a projectile which sets out secondary explosions, it probably is a nightmare for the code to understand the difference between, the source of it. But there already was just flat out remove stagger, so it would affect both, and it was on the Warframe mods.
Right, so should there have been a Warframe mod which is reduced self-damage instead of a rifle weapon?
No. What I mean is, as soon as they removed the self-damage, and they were like, oh yeah, we should turn this into self-stagger now, it's like, no, just remove the mod from the game. Just refund everyone. They've done it before. This mod doesn't need to exist anymore. Just remove the band-aid. Don't need to turn into anything. Just give people the endo back. Job done. Just remove it. There already was self-stagger, just prime sure-footed, just all stagger sources. Right, there we go, job done. It's a Warframe mod thing. Having a weapon mod do that, just because like, oh, well, we've got this weapon mod in the game, so we're removing the self-damage to self-stagger, so we should turn the mod and self-stagger. No. Why? It was stupid anyway that the weapon, the gun had a, like, this destroys the damage to yourself. It's like, that mod didn't need to exist anyway. It's like a test, wasn't it? It was a test. It was like, oh, shall we have these AoE weapons not do damage to the user? But then they just implemented that anyway. So just get rid of the mod. It was a band-aid test.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one. Come on, guys. They are not gods. It's true. DE genuinely gives a shit about their work, and mistakes are a normal part of doing anything. Yes, but I don't think the only mistake they made in this is just not removing Cautious Shot when it was already redundant, or it was outdated and didn't need adapting. It needed removing from the game.
Well, I think they should have just not done self stagger. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I think that was the main problem.
Yeah.
Next one.
Oh, and if they wanted to add in something that was when we still had self damage on weapons, and they wanted to be like, oh, but some people want to use these weapons without damaging themselves. This is when they should have come up with their consumable thing, like they were going to have for Echoes of Umbra. And so it's like, right, yeah, we feel you should have self-damage on these weapons, but if you really want to not have it for this Warframe, we're going to make you farm a consumable each week, or farm the mats and use up the mats that will be used for consumable, which will last 1 week per Warframe.
No, I get where you're coming from, that will just lead to the same AoE meta we have.
Yeah,
now.
I know that in truth that it's the thin end of the wedge, and they'll say like, "Oh, but you're giving it to us anyway. We just have to work for it. Just give it to us without working for it."
Exactly.
And that's the way to do it.
It's. I think they should just go like, no, you just can't have it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm with you on that.
You know, please, right? Here's a grenade, right? Pull the pin, release the latch, hold on to it, and tell me how you're not taking damage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just how explosives work. You take damage from them if you're next to them.
Well, you could say there's no friendly fire in Warframe, but you know,
I mean, my argument is there should be.
I agree with you again.
Give me back my radiation damage. God damn it, my radiation procs.
Sweet radiation procs.
Yep.
Right, next reply. Often with Warframe, players will frequently request one thing to be changed, and it will come, but much, much later, because DE will decide to introduce it along with a whole rework of the part of the game the thing was connected to, even if there wasn't that much of a problem with it.
I'm sorry, jog on. It's like, no. Oh no! D have made the change we wanted to, but because they added it with other stuff, it's not the change we wanted. You wanted self-stagger. You got self-stagger. What? No, just you changed your mind. That's it. You don't like self-stagger anymore. It's like... If a vocal minority will say that they don't want self-damage, they want self-stagger. And then a vocal minority will turn around and say they don't want self... Perfect example is 6 Degrees of Freedom, right? There was a very strong vocal minority saying that they wanted 6 Degrees of Freedom for Arcwing, and no one counted it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Everyone pushed for it. No one argued against it. But then, when they introduced it, there was a really strong anti-6 Degrees of Freedom, right?
Even though I think they did introduce it with the option to switch it off anyway when they introduced it.
Yes. Right? I think it was defaulted off anyway, right?
I think it was defaulted on,
You
actually.
sure?
Yeah, because otherwise, why would people complain about it?
Because people complain about anything. Tell me I'm wrong.
That's on my 6 Degrees Freedom back.
Yeah. You know, but people complained about it, and then they removed it again. Yep. So, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it. I just want my cake. Give me my cake, I'll eat it, and I'll be happy. Right. Next one.
Oh, we're asking for our cake and wanting to eat it. No, we just want self-damage. No, we just want... Yeah, we just
we know what we want. And I'll eat it.
Yeah. Yep. Several things. There was a leadership change, so... There was a leadership change, so changes in approach, a design philosophy are expected. The ammo changes were to encourage the use of more weapon, especially when using AoE, and to discourage spam. And the Wukong changes were to stop the AFK playstyles, not to nerf AoE.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Everything this person said, 100%, right? There is going to be a change in design philosophy. I don't think it's going to be that major a design change, but I think, if anything, they're just being a bit more vocal about what they're addressing. Because I feel that the old team, they sort of, after a while, just stopped talking about things because I think they got fed up with getting second-guessed all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to look at Scott's reply to bloody Brozine when he said, like, you don't realise that I had to get other people to read your messages to me, your feedback, because it was just so toxic, it just, you know, got to him every time.
Yeah. Next one, last one.
Honestly, to me, it shows that the new team might have a better understanding than the old team of how people actually play Warframe.
Fuck off.
A common criticism often levied against Steve and Scott was that they were getting out of touch because they didn't really play the game themselves anymore. As such, when problems arose, they had a tendency to treat the symptom rather than the underlying disease. And we got some weird design choices that didn't really fix things properly. Now, I don't agree entirely with them. However, I can appreciate that there may be some element of truth to what they're saying, because even I've had a project where you're really enthusiastic at the start, as time goes by, you do see it in a different light. And sometimes I've been doing a thing and I do it for a long time, and then I pick up like a piece of paper or something that I had at the start that I wrote about what I was doing. I'm like, wow. And then you realize how different you look at it now. After you've gone through the production of that thing and the adaptation of it, you're like, wait, my original idea was like all full of hope and this is going to be so cool. And then you're like, yeah, I've just finished the bloody thing. Done, you know.
But I think in part, you know, this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. I can't think of a better term for it. Where basically, because people kept on criticizing, you know, DE staff saying like, oh, they obviously don't play their own game, that basically led them to stop playing the game, because no matter what they did.
Oh no, well no, the key point in there is getting out of touch, and with the players specifically. They say it's not playing the game, but it's also talking to the players. And the players kept saying that, so they didn't want to talk to the players, so they got out of touch with the players, and so the players cared that, and so they're like, well, we're even less likely to, you know, the players clearly hate us. What's the point?
Yeah. Right, I to be honest, I'm not surprised by the saltiness of that topic. I think my personal opinion, all right, is bring back self-damage. I think it is better to push the direction of play back towards the assault rifles or the anti-AoE meta, whatever. I think it would be better to do that than it would be to allow the AoE meta to continue. But, you know, they're going to have information and data that we just don't have.
Oh, of course.
So, you know. Okay, then. Should we move on to our third topic?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Number 3. Right. Player-made Fomorians. This is the community concept for this week. Player-made Fomorians would be used in clan battles and would add a deal of new... And would add a great deal of new aspects to Warframe. Dry dock raids. See below... so, yeah, there's an image. Sorry. Oh, God. This is a hard sentence to read. Player-made Fomorians would be used in clan battles and would add a great deal of new aspects to Warframe. Dry dock raids, a use for the Fomorian disruptors that are still in one's inventory, and a means by which you can feel almighty. Build it by completing Grineer Hydrak missions to gain the core, then use the Oxium to forge the hull and weaponry. Second is a raid on a clan dry dock where you can attack the Fomorian as they are being constructed by selecting a clan from a list, then building its key like an Orokin Derelict or Void key, and similarly using them. Defending a Fomorian before it is complete is a difficult task. The Fomorian will spawn specters that the players need not pay for. The amount of specters is determined by the amount of in the dry dock, meaning that with one vapor, 10 phase, 100 force, and 1,000 cosmic, with the amount spawned also rate... Sorry, this is so hard to read.
You want me to give it a go?
I'm trying.
Player-made Fomorians would be used in clan battles and would add a great deal of new aspects to Warframe. Dry dock raids, see below. A use for Fomorian disruptors of Soviet inventory and a means by which you can feel almighty. Built by completing Grineer hijack missions to gain the core. Then using Oxium to forge the hull and weaponry. Second is a raid on clan dry docks, where you can attack the Fomorians as they're being constructed by selecting a clan from the list, then building its key, like an Orokin Derelict or Void key, and similarly, I can never say that word, similarly using them. Defending a Fomorian before it is complete is a difficult task. The Fomorian will spawn specters that the players need not pay for. The amount of specters is determined by the amount of dry dock, meaning that with one Vapor 10, Phase 100, Force 1000, Cosmic. So, meaning that with 1 Vapor, 10 Phase, 100 Force, and 1000 Cosmic, with the amount spawned also raised, should more than 1000 be at dry dock. That is not a sentence.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
With the amount spawned also raised, should more than 1000 be at dry dock. That's terrible. I assume.
Okay.
With the amount in the dry dock, meaning that 1 Vapor. But Cosmic are the strongest, so you'd get 1 per Vapor, but 1000 Cosmic. That should be the other way around. Like for if you hand in a Vapor, you can have up to 1000 Vapor.
I think it's trying to say that there's a points cost, right? So a Vapor costs 1 point, Phase costs 10 points, Force costs 100 points, and a Cosmic costs 1000 points.
Maybe. But with the amount spawned also raised, should more than 1000 be at dry dock is not a sentence. Anyway, to read the next bit. To destroy one, how do we destroy them, Xeno?
You must destroy several parts of the enemy core to stop it from deploying specters, then exterminate those that remain, including players on the enemy team. 2. The repair ducts, which must be accessed by the defenders, and contain 10 panels that must be hacked to repair the ship, are similar to the air ducts on Uranus. If hacks fail during the 20-second period, the area will be expelled to prevent further continued damage, allowing a shot straight at the core.
Straight to the core.
Straight to the core. It takes only 1 shot to destroy the core. Enemy players can infiltrate with arc wings through holes punched by the main artillery battery or smaller turrets and use these paddles to eject parts of the Fomorian. I feel that there's been a lot abbreviated here. Like a lot. Because where the hell has this main artillery battery and small turrets come from? Right? Is our Fomorian outside their dry dock? Or I thought the Fomorian was inside the dry dock. Is there a different type
by the way,
of dry dock?
You can push meme number 8.
You put it in meme number 8, did you?
I put the Star Destroyer cut through there.
Okay, hold on.
So I assume that's what they're trying to pretend it's like.
Okay.
There you go. Right. For some reason, this is in there, so I'm like, oh, okay. I assume it's like, it's supposed to represent like the core and the Fomorians. Like Fomorian is like a Death Star. This is Star Wars Death Star, if anyone doesn't know. Also known as Son of Death Egg. But then we go, no, then we have it there. So anyway, I like the now just want to point out, I looked at the date of this concept. This concept is from like 2015. So
this is pre.
Yeah, it's a bit early. It's pre everything.
Mm-hmm. So this would have been after Tethra's Doom.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
by the way, you've only been destroying the auxiliary cores. Was one of the best things they ever did.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so epic. Why don't they do more like that?
I don't know.
I felt like the game was real. I don't mean like the game was actually real, but it meant that the game was actually evolving and could change and warp and basically thing, and they would do cool things and cool shifts to you think you've been playing it? Here's another difficulty. It's like, oh cool. That's a very organic way of bringing it in. Anyway, as a concept, this seems rather basic. So let's make it for 2022. We're never gonna get player versus player content directly anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not going to do it. It doesn't. The Conclave never worked. They can't seem to do anything with it. I don't think they like doing the even the idea of us controlling things directly. They're not going to do. Well, what can they do? Right. Well, have you ever played MechWarrior?
Yeah.
Do you know the universe?
No.
Right, so you've got the inner sphere, and then eventually they get attacked by the clans, which are from the outer sphere. And what happened with the clans is they were a really advanced group of people in the inner sphere, which is just like the galaxy or whatever.
I just want to point out for people, I thought the inner sphere was what's called the inner part of the solar system. everything between the sun and like one of the planets.
We're just gonna check that on Google because it sounds weird.
No, I don't know.
The inner sphere is a region of interstellar space surrounding Earth to a radius of 400 to 550 light years, generally demarcated by the outer borders of the. Wait, no, that's the Bathtech wiki.
Nah.
Wikipedia. Inner sphere complex, type of iron surface binding. Inner sphere electron transfer, chemical reactions involving closely associated atoms. Inner sphere Battletech, the primary setting of the Battletech universe. So Wikipedia says whatever you're thinking of does not exist.
Well, that's rude.
Yep. Go complain to Wikipedia.
I will.
Anyway, so the key point was they were part of the inner sphere. They went outside the galaxy or whatever into the dark outer reaches. But they further developed their technology. They came back, right? Then when they came back as the clans. They restructured themselves, a bit like Tenno focus groups. Focus groups, focus schools, right? And what they would do is they would compete between the clans. And one of the things they would do is they would bid against each other to take an objective with the least amount of resources spent.
Okay.
So it would be, so instead of doing PvP battles, what you could have is some sort of system where two
clans,
yes, square up against each other,
and
they bid against each other to do a destroy Fomorian mission, and they can bid to take debuffs, and whoever takes the most debuffs gets to do the mission. And if they succeed, they win. If they don't, the other people get to do it with more resources.
Okay.
And so you're saying like, wow, but where's the player generated part coming in? Well, you have it that some of the debuffs they're taking are the equivalent of more resources on this Fomorian. That in lore, it's like, okay, well, we'll take on the heavily defended inner Fomorians, and then the other team gets to build the mission that they're going on.
I'm not gonna say that this sounds overly complicated.
It would work fine. It really would be simple when you'd go into it, because it'd be like it's like a bidding war.
So let's start from scratch, right? Okay, my first question for you is are players still building their own Fomorians?
No.
Right. Okay. So that's
why would Tenno build Fomorians?
That was the whole topic, Loz.
I know, and this is 2015, so okay. I corrected it because it was stupid.
Right. So
but I wanted to keep the idea alive.
Right. So the players are no longer building. Right. Okay, that's fine.
Also, just because you'll agree with me on this, how good did we do about building relays?
What, with girders?
With girders, yeah. We built relays out of girders.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. Do you think we really can build freaking Fomorians if we can't even build a freaking relay?
Yeah, we do it with more girders.
Just girders. You strap girders upon girders until you get a girder force.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Yeah.
Right. So we're not building Fomorians.
It doesn't make sense. I would love that, but it's like, no, we have Railjacks now. We would never build Fomorians.
It's fine. Right. So we're not. I mean, take into consideration, I've got the limited information you're giving me, plus the concept that's already in my head from what we've kind of read.
I already said, let's remake it for 2022. So.
I know that, but I don't... Shut up! Let me finish. Right, so we're not building the Fomorians. Fine. So the Fomorians exist at different layers of difficulty. But the layers of difficulty are determined by this competition of who's going to accept the most debuffs, right? And what do the players get in reward for accepting the most debuffs?
It increases the rewards that you can get,
right?
If they succeed the mission.
And if they fail the mission,
well, Now, see this. I'm not saying this is ironclad the way I'm trying to think of it now. But if they don't succeed the mission, then the people who lost the bid get to do the mission as an easier difficulty, but with the rewards that or closer to the rewards the others would have got. So they get to get the rewards, but easier.
But
they can try and get the rewards.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they get Well, they just don't get debuffed as much, so it's easier to get the same rewards.
Okay.
And then lore-wise, it's because the others tried, failed, and now it's weaker. So they get to do it with.
Okay. Now I have a question for you.
Yes.
To logistically prevent gaming of the system, actually, I have a suggestion. I think players should submit collateral towards their bid.
Yes.
And if they fail, not only do they not get the reward, but they also lose their collateral.
Yes.
Right? Now that collateral does not go to the other people, it's just destroyed.
Destroyed, yep. Right? Stink it away, yep.
And this way it means that players shouldn't really want to if you if you completely outbid the crap out of me, right, it's to prevent gaming of the system. Yeah? Maybe it's a simple case of it's blind bids. But at the same time, if people are colluding, maybe it's a case of you don't know who you're going against.
The way, maybe you don't know who you're going against, but you can. The way it works in BattleTech is you bid, then they bid, then it doesn't stop until if one side pushes themselves to like. So in BattleTech, it's like, right, I'm going to go conquer that continent with 20 battle mechs. Well, I'll do it with 19. Right. Well, I'll do it with 15, but we won't bring any missiles. Right, well, I'll do it 10 with no missiles and no lasers. Right, well, I'll do it with no missiles, no lasers, and no ECM, and only 5 battle mechs. It's like, okay, fine, you want to be an idiot, go do it. It encourages people to bid themselves to try and gain the prestige is the important. If you finish it with doing a crazy bid, you get more prestige for it.
I kind of feel that this should also be tied into some sort of oh god, what's the name of them?
I'm going to find you a cartoon of this because I love it. Yeah, I'd love to tie it into syndicate. Yeah.
So if you tied it into a syndicate, your rep with that syndicate could be based on how well you do, right?
Yeah, and it'd be easy to add in these debuffs for Warframes. It would just be. I mean, we already have Dragon Keys. It'd be like bringing Dragon Keys in. It'd be like, right, I'm going to take a 50% health debuff. Well, I'm going to take a 70% health debuff. I'm going to take an 85% health debuff.
I'll never take my Warframe.
Yeah, no, that could be a thing. Yeah. I'll do it entirely with my operator without being knocked out. It's like, it's those kind of crazy challenges, and it's competitive. That's how to add kind of competitive play into the game, because the PvE thing is the challenge. We're never going to get direct PvP in this game. Even like attacking someone else's thing. I don't think we're ever going to get it. But we could easily get like challenge against the game sort of system.
So I'm also assuming that unlike a system like eBay or whatever, this is like, it's now. It is live. It is happening right now. So you put in for it, you'll be matched with someone completely anonymous, and then you're just bidding in. So you can't even game the system.
You bid it. Well, I don't know if you wanted to have like multiple parties. I was thinking just paired parties, but you could have ones with like three.
No, I was thinking just paired parties. Just
paired parties. It's just simple, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite a complex system, only. But
yeah.
But I like it because it's. You might say it's like, oh, it's a complicated system, but people will learn the system. I mean, they play Warframe.
No,
they will learn the system.
I think us talking it out has just massively highlighted.
I love the UI would also make it easier as well. You have like your bids, their bids.
Yeah. And I think like let's just make it easier. Maybe just make it boss fights. So like it's just the boss missions. So you got to go do Vor with
because that again, it's the prestige. It's the focus. Schools challenge each other to do a challenge, So
So I quite like what you've proposed here. I think it works quite well. Yeah, we just have to. Yeah, we'll wait 5 years and we'll see it in the game.
Who doesn't get that? It's because if you go back 5 years on 10 o'clock and just go look through all the stuff, you eventually find what's in the game.
Things. Yeah. So. Well,
so many things.
do you think we should actually get like T-shirts or something printed, which is just
I'd love to go back through and find all of the dates.
Just wait 5 years.
just wait 5 years. Let's talk about Tenno Clock. No, I'd love it on the back. I'd love a 2-column thing.
Yeah.
It would be like, we talked about this. There'd be 3 columns. It would be thing added to the game. I don't know. Scalable armor sets. Tenno Clock talked about it. I don't know. September 2014. DE added it to the game. 2021. And then at the bottom it would just say, just wait 5 years. It'll get added to the game. Whatever we talk about, wait 5 years, it'll be added to the game. I don't know.
God, that would be hilarious. So I like your system a lot more. I kind of like where this person's going in terms of like the whole PvP or PvPvE, whatever. But I think the system that's proposed in this is like really complicated. It's so overly complicated. You got this whole system of building stuff. It was like, it's crazy.
Spectres and thousands of spectres, but not thousands of spectres.
Oddly enough, we were talking it was why we pulled you into the stream. The whole Torghast thing. We would love it if Void Armageddon had these whole every 3 waves you kill a Void Angel and you get one of these buffs, a random buff like in Torghast that will last you the rest of the Void Armageddon run. Because right now it doesn't really keep interest going. So it could be something like, but you can have more turrets, or you could have turrets last longer, or you could have more damage coming out of the turrets, or you could have turrets cost less, or yeah. So I'm totally on board for this sort of thing. I think weird buffs and debuffs is what will probably help the game in the long run. So right, should we go to the replies of the original topic?
Mine's better.
Yours is better. Yours is legible.
I don't think Lotus would approve of the Tenno using super lethal methods in their territory wars. Dark Sector is fine. There are rules. Fomorians are just there to destroy. Yeah, it's like we wouldn't. Why would we go around building Death Stars, man?
Yeah.
It's like, what are we going to shoot them with? We didn't even need Death Stars to take out the sentients. They just wrote themselves out of the game.
We're just going to use. We're just going to fire Death Stars like arrows at each other.
Yeah. just that's basically the Tenno are so bored they're just playing bumper cars in space where they can build
dojos.
Dojos at each other. Capital ships are manned by a few thousand crew with multiple cores as drives, with main cannon that can destroy space station with a single hit, being literally as big as the relay themselves. Even Grenier Empire can only produce a few of them due to the extreme costs this thing would require. We use Arcwing specifically because these things would destroy any ship.
There is
up from a railjack.
Yeah, there's so many wrong things with that sentence.
God, why isn't there a railjack versus Fomorian fight in the game?
Because people hate railjack. People hate fun, Loz. People hate fun.
No. Okay, so what it is, it's like we all need to go fishing. And DE came up with a rock with a blunt stick tied to the end and went, look, I found this, I built this. You can use it to go fishing. And it's like, well, we want fish, but your stick sucks. I don't want to use it. And it's like, instead of letting DE, it's like, okay, well, I'll go make a better stick. No, we just don't want to use sticks anymore. We're just going to stare at the fish. It's like, well, give them time and they'll sharpen the stick and it'll be easier to use. No, I don't want to use sticks anymore. I hate sticks. Sticks with things on the end are bad. I tried that and it was terrible. Therefore, I'm never going to use a stick with a thing on the end again. Yeah, let's start on this net concept. We don't even have... We have nothing. I want net. Give me more net. No, net. Yeah, but I could make the spear thing work. I could eventually build a trident. No, I tried the first spear with the flat end, and thus I will never use spears again.
Yep.
This is so stupid. Right. Perhaps the Lotus would not approve, yet that might play into this, adding a new depth to an otherwise rather shallow plot with no decisions on your part. You could lay siege with advanced Fomorians while the Lotus's favour grants certain bonuses to the Arcwing using defenders. If both sides are Fomorians, Arcwing Spectres will lay siege to both. As the Lotus chides you both, and pleads for you to surrender before the Tenno tear themselves apart. That's not it. They literally want to check Death Stars at each other.
Yep.
Man, cool times, 2015. Without digging into lore too much, Fomorians simply aren't the way to the Tenno role. We keep stomping on their toes until they have nothing left to stand on. We don't pick up the biggest, baddest rock and throw it at them. Fomorians are powerful, but unfortunately not the Tenno way. No, I like the other thing where it's like we just don't have the. It's a technological terror. It's massive. It's huge. We could never build something like that. We don't have the facilities. There's only well, as far as I can tell, there's only one Tenno in existence. Seeing as you know.
Yep, and it's me.
It is you. I'd happily have that. I'd happily be an NPC Tenno. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I don't care though. I don't want to be the center of everything. I'll be like, yeah, I'm just helping that guy. That guy could be the savior of everything. I'm just here to stab things. Right. Now next one. Last one. I was thinking of rocket turrets or machine gun turrets that could be either automatic or manned. This would allow a small crew to still defend an entire rail against the Fomorians.
Do you remember in the mountain?
In the mountain.
Yeah. No. Do you remember way back when we were gonna have turrets like the Rampart that you could like rip off and Halo style and just carry around and like an art gun?
Well, they basically did that in the Kahl missions.
I only remember the one.
In killing the Thumper.
Yeah.
It points at ramparts around you that fire one shot, this weird white pulse, and then after they die, they drop the gun you're using.
Oh, really?
Yep. You get given that gun. It's I can't remember the name of it. The one that's got like a pipe at the end with 4 prongs at the end.
Grattler.
No. Not. You don't get the Grattler in that mission. You get
whatever that pipe with the 4 prongs is.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's one of the Kuva weapons, I think.
Okay.
Kuva. I'll find it.
I think I vaguely remember what you're talking about. All right, right. So that is it for the topics. I think we're done. Oz is deep in.
Kuva Ayanga.
Ah. Not the Chukar.
No.
Right.
No, not Chukar. The Ayanga.
Anyway, right. So that is it for the topics. It is time to move on. It is time to talk about the graphs. You ready for the graphs?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's weird. I have so many responsibilities now. So the first question we asked.
I have none.
That's not the first one.
Why
is that the first one? That's not the first one. That's not the first one. Where's the first one gone? I've been lied to. Fine. Right. Found it. Made it better. Don't know how it went horribly wrong. Right. So the first question was, how do you feel about how do you feel that DE have openly moved forward with Deviri's production while Veilbreaker is still quite fresh and has room to grow? So 17% said negative, 50%, 33% said positive, and 50% said neutral. Where are you on this?
Negative.
I'm also in negative.
No, I am in negative. I understand, but I am in negative. I don't get why. Honestly,
it's so soon.
Yeah. Why? I mean, I know DE have. Well, I swear, as far as I know, they have more people than they ever used to have. I don't get why we can't have a small team just working on Veilbreaker stuff. Make us a couple of missions, or at least get 90% of the way done on a couple of new missions using entirely existing assets. Most of it is because they're not putting in new enemies. They're not putting. There's the occasional new tile, and that's it. Apart from that, it's just putting the tiles in order or whatever system, and then adding the drop points for the spawns of different items. That's it. That is it.
Who knows? Maybe that's what they do now anyway, but we just don't know. Maybe
they
need a bigger team. Who knows?
I don't get it, because if I had access to the assets and I was trained in how to set up the system, and obviously they need to set triggers. I mean, I know this is I remember did you ever play with the Warcraft 3 mission creator?
StarCraft, but yeah.
Well, the Warcraft 3, yeah, same thing, but it was a really great system, and it would teach you things about, like, if you want to make your own custom mission, well, okay, cinematic, right? So you've got to have triggers. So this trigger, then this character moves, then this piece of text appears. So it's like it's a very cool way of teaching people the simple basics of game design. But the same thing, those still apply to these missions. They're just triggers and set paths for walking and things. So I don't get why a couple of people can't just be making that on the side. It does not seem to be a massive job to me. Apart from when they add new tiles in or something, but they don't always need to do that. They can use the existing tiles, or they can get everything done apart from the new tile. Then those people can go with something else done, and then someone else can just come in and do the new tile when they've got the time, if they're busy working on Zviri. But from what they showed us, the Zviri looked like it was done environmentally. So that's why I understand, but I'm negative.
Yeah. So let's move forward to the next one. How do you feel that the third Veilbreaker mission is a repeat of the Veilbreaker quest? 11% said positive, 11% said no opinion, 33% said negative, and 44% said neutral. I would have been fine had the one afterwards not also been the Orb Valis one. It's a case. It's very, very clear that they only have the.
I would have been fine if it was we made 3 new ones and a 4th was the repeat of the quest.
Yeah.
Because you want 3. 3 feels solid. 3 is is that core number.
I'm gonna argue.
Minimum
I feel 5 is minimum.
Well, no. I don't mean for a complete thing. I meant that it would feel like, right, we've made some missions for you to do. 3 would have been fine. Boosted to 4 with the repeat of the quest. I'd be like, okay, I'll accept that. Because they did 2 with the repeat of the quest. I'm like, that's just lazy.
Right. Let's move on to... Oh, that was the second one. So third one. How do you feel about the Veilbreaker missions in general? 11% said neutral, 11% said negative, and 78% said positive.
Positive.
Yes. Yeah, agreed. Then we're going to move on.
Super positive. I like them. I just want more.
Yep. The fourth graph. Do you think playing as Kahl in Veilbreaker missions is a little immersion breaking? 33% said yes, 67% said no. I'm in the yes. I do think it's immersion breaking, but I mean, I'd rather have it than not.
Okay.
Right. The fifth graph we have is: do you like Xeno's idea about sentience, how sentience would function and evolve during the mission? So for your benefit, the idea was that effectively sentience start with a crazy high number, but they're really low level, right? And as the mission goes on, the more and more you kill, eventually you wipe out all the level 1s, and then you have a few less, but they're all level 2s, and then you wipe out all the level 2s, you have a few less, and they're all level 3s, and then they just keep on getting higher and higher and higher until you have, like, I don't know, a level 1000 by itself just utterly tearing you to shreds.
But I assume at the same time you could kind of just ignore, because it's only 1.
Oh yes, yeah. You could just get out of dodge, right? So it's like, no, that's too big for me right now. Let me go get my Fomorian and just shoot it with a railgun. Let me shoot LOZ at it. Right, and then last but not least is the sixth, stupid question of the week. What do you think the name of the wolf frame will be called? 6% said Storm again, 11% said Lupin, 39% said Fenrir, and I swear, love of God, it will be Fenrir, because it just feels like it has to happen. And then 44% said the right answer of Wolfie McWolf frame.
Yes.
Yeah.
They know how naming should be named. Yeah, it better not be Fenrir.
Yeah. But you know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen.
It could be called Lupinosis.
No. Right, okay, so...
Bangorisis.
No, it's going to be the Fenrir. Right. I swear to God, I went on the actual forum. It was the third thing suggested, Fenrir. It's going to be Fenrir, right?
I still remember when I came a cool name for the Parazon and Steve ignored it.
What did you call it?
It was the name of one of the nerves in your brain.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Now it's time for the supporter questions. See how it just works?
Do you want to push the other button?
What other button?
Meme number 7.
I didn't know you. Do you put them there?
I've always put them there for like last
I
2
didn't know.
months, 3 months.
I did not know you. Okay, I didn't know that's where you put them.
Okay, yes, meme number 7.
Okay.
Now I have to actually find them myself. There we go. A loyalist only for Loz. Before we start the supporter questions, I need to mention something you forgot in the announcements. The Tenno Clock subreddit has been. We have a subreddit?
We can't possibly have a subreddit. Do we genuinely have a subreddit?
Who's the mod for that? Do we have a mod? You gotta have mods for subreddits, unless they get. We don't have a subreddit.
Oh,
Hang on.
hold on.
Slash
Tenno Clock.
Tenno Clock.
Yeah, nice try there, Zrugel. Nice try. You got our hopes up there, Zrugel. We had hopes there, Zrugel. This is the dash now.
Dash. Very sad. I was gonna be like, oh my god, someone's made a subreddit. Oh, that's so impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so amazing. I feel so humbled. I'm like, no. Before we start, so I need to mention something we forgot to announce. The 10 o'clock subreddit has really blown up recently, and we can't keep track of all the posts, but we have had people turn to us and say they can't find the subreddit. If that happens to you, just leave us a note in the comment sections down below. We should have that sorted out soon. We don't have a subreddit.
We don't have a subreddit.
We should have a subreddit, really. Yeah, but we also. So. Zrugel asks, Xeno, how has streaming been going?
Don't you mean a loyalist only for Loz says? Zrugel asks, Xeno, how's the stream going? Anyway,
Zrugel asks, Xeno. Zrugel asks, Loz asks Xeno.
Anyway,
how the going?
It's been challenging for some strange reason. Warframe's acting really, really weird. It won't freaking work with NVEC, so it makes recording footage and streaming all sorts of shenanigans really so hazardous. And yeah, I spent hours trying to get this to work. And Joey,
why are you trying to record while streaming? Is that why?
Kind of. So just streaming because it doesn't look nearly as good. But the stream alone, right? Plus my face will also be in the bottom left hand corner. The stream alone, for whatever reason, will not properly work on NVEC encoding, and it starts. If I have Warframe in focus, it starts stuttering like nuts. If Warframe is not in focus, it's at full 60 FPS. I don't understand what's going on. Joey and I are gonna sit down and try and work out what the hell's going on.
There you go. Now's the season 2 coming in 2023. Would you trade all the current extra sources of Kuva we have available in exchange for higher amounts from floods, siphons, survival, disruption modes?
Wait. Isn't that the only places we can get it from?
No, you can get them from sorties and weird things like that.
Yeah,
and
sure.
You can get them from liches and things. You remember?
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
If you could only play Ureli for the rest of your life, would you quit Rage or otherwise Warframe?
I don't know. Maybe.
I wouldn't. Why would you?
Are you just going to play Ureli for now and then?
Well, that's not. No, it doesn't say. It says if you could only play with Fresh Life, would you quit Rage or otherwise? Like, no, I wouldn't. We've got Helminth now, remember?
Yeah, it still means you got that stupid ass. Like, which. You can only do one ability.
Yeah, and which one do you hate?
All of them. Especially.
I watched 6 seasons to be here. DE turned on crossplay between PC and Xbox for a short test. Apparently, this resulted in crashing many players' games on both platforms. How soon do you think the DE will be able to make Nintendo Switches explode or
they probably could already. Do you remember the PAX demo of Bloodstained Ritual by Night? And they had to strap these giant heat sinks to the Switch because otherwise they were going to overheat.
Wow.
Yeah.
They should just use liquid nitrogen cooling. That would have been much better.
Oh yeah, because that somehow makes sense.
Wait, you could do liquid nitrogen cooling.
Yeah, but you can't actually bring electronics components below a certain temperature, otherwise they just stop working.
No, but that's not what you would do. You would have a heat sink on the back of the switch,
yeah,
and then you would just have it piped into liquid nitrogen,
that makes sense.
and then the rate of the heat, you wouldn't need much. You would have a very thin tube, and it would just keep it cool.
yeah.
That'll work, trust me. Where are we at?
Last one.
I watched 6 seasons to be here. Also says players are already complaining that they can't freely switch Archon shards around, with the cost of removing shards making even veteran players with all the resources have difficulty affording their min-max testing. Do you think it's possible DE actually did this deliberately to cause even the most try-hard of players slow down and consume their content over time, rather than sprinting through it and heading back to the forums to whine for more content before the majority of the player base have engaged with the system? Or is that crazy talk? No,
a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B.
That's conspiracy thinking. What the thing is you just have to look at the Echoes of Umbra, right? And DE know that there are players who love playing the game, and literally sit on mountains of nanospores enough to actually, if a nanospore was, I don't know, 2 millimeters by 3 millimeters, conquer the entire solar system in a 3D globe shape in nanospores, because that's just what people have. They need reasons for people to burn through these resources. Now, I think apart from building a second, what's his name? Spartan Man.
So what?
The latest Warframe.
Spartan Man. Oh, Stynex.
Stynex. Apart from building a second Stynex, I have even worked my way up to finishing my helmets. I've got everything else done in there. Yes, I threw platinum at it. Yes, it's done. But like now, I'm like, okay, if I wanted to remove shards, I'm just shoving shards in my Excalibur right now because I have them. I'm like, I'm gonna swap them around. I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It just costs some resources, and I could go farm the little resources I need if I wanted to. I like the fact that it's consuming my resources to do things if I wanted to move shards around. It really is tiny resources, and it's the kind of resources that you get buckets of from just playing the game at the amount that you can at end game. So if they remove those, I'm going to complain for them to put them back in. Honestly, I'll go on a crusade to get them to put them back in because they are not
get on his
bad.
soapbox.
I'll get on my soapbox and slap my face on it as well. You're doing an Archwing mission.
There it is.
Oh wow! Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this clear inspiration of quality. It just needed, it's just a rough early version. It just needed time. It just needed a few more iterations. Give it some support.
It's still good. It's still good.
Oh no! It's drowning in salt, Drew. Oh no! Oh no! It died because it drowned in everyone's salt.
Yep.
So sad when that happens. Right. That was the. Oh. What was that?
That was the supporter questions.
What were we on? That's the one, supporter questions.
And now we move on for the community responses.
These are comments from last week's video, and I wasn't here. So first, Zrugal and Gumbaroth mentions this. So Xeno, I can only hear you on the left side. Not complaining or praising. Just thought I'd let you know.
What?
Yep, people were saying, and I listened to it.
Son of! I wish you had said this earlier.
Oh,
son of a freaking! Where's my mic? And then that, and there you go. You can now hear me on both sides.
There you go. That's why I saved these for these things.
Why did you say this hours ago? Oh well.
Well, then what would I talk about in the thing? Ali Al Khatib. By the way, there's more. I don't know. There's more. I don't know. By the way, we could see you, hear you, and it's all gibberish. No, I don't know. Ali Al Khatib for the Nazareth comment here. I wish they could at least separate aura, body, step, ephemera, as currently Sentinels can only equip vengeful ephemera. All they need to do is categorize these into aura, ephemera, as they aren't attached to a body part, etc. Is that something last week in ephemeras and Nazareth?
Sure.
Was it talk of ephemeras?
Oh wait, Nazareth wanted to equip. Oh yes, because they showed off an ephemera which was the Archon crystals, and Nazareth wanted, was it a Syandana? No, I can't remember. He wanted, I think it was an ephemera. He wanted both the Archon crystals and another ephemera. He wants a brand new slot just for the Archon crystals, and it's just like, shut up, Nazareth.
Okay, moving on. Peter Graver, topic 1. Xeno, Xbox doesn't run on a disk drive, it's SSD, my dude. As for the architecture, Xbox is basically PC. Game devs have always had an easy time developing for Xbox over PlayStation because PlayStation originally used a different programming language. The systems use similar hardware to PC. The biggest difference is the software, and in Sony's case, the programming language.
I will happily go find you some game developers and point you at them and just like, no. It's only been recent that consoles have been using SSDs. Like, wasn't always this way.
Yeah, but they're saying that the current Xbox runs on an SSD.
Yeah. And the last one, when Warframe came out, didn't. I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, okay. Just what Peter Graver said. Just want to pass it on. Right, last one is Tony Covenant. There's a lot of people applies to this topic. F sentience have basically never been law accurate. To be honest, Kahl and other Grineer should be perfectly capable to kill sentinels.
Just to point out, part of the thing about Kahl feeling immersion breaking is because he can just murder sentinels.
Oh yeah. Well, basically, these aren't sentients.
Yeah. Well, they should be level 1 sentience. That's the point. They should be like
no, they're not sentients.
Okay, fine.
They're not sentients.
They're
the dried, discarded. If you open them up, you'll actually find an armor person in there, little armor person with little levers pulling them. Yeah. To be honest, Kahl and other Grineer should be perfectly capable to kill sentients. According to law, sentients turned Orokin technology weapons against them, assuming this means war machines and energy-based weapons, and I assume they were energy-like weapons like lasers and plasma, because the sentience was designed to adapt to harsh elements of space in the Tau system. And very, very likely the reason Orokin gave the Tenno the weapons of the old ways, gun and blade. And well, I think that adapting to something physical hitting you hard like a piece of steel would be really hard to compared to heat or radiation. There are real organisms immune to radiation. Heck, water bears don't give a damn about the thing. Yeah, water bears, they're going to take over everything. And Lancer Codex, a Grineer miner clone, is capable of killing a sentient with a fecking shovel. So I think Kakata shooting bullets and machete should do fine. Much bigger law inaccuracy is that somehow the sentients can adapt to void, to the thing that they are designed to be weak to. Back in Scarlet Spear, Limbo was used a lot against sentients, but D didn't like it, so they gave him a nerf. That's fine, but they gave the worst reason for this. Sentients can adapt quickly. Adapt to Limbo's freeze. How the F can they adapt to Limbo's powers when he literally sends them to the void, to the dimension that is literally poison to them. And heck, a cherry on top, not a single sentient in the game that I can see in my codex is weak to void damage. Heck, they even resist it by 1-. D has created some of the coolest law with sentience, but come on, D, get your shit together with the law accuracy in game. Someone did reply to him. I can't remember off the top of my head. Though they have already retconned Limbo's powers. He doesn't connect to the void anymore. He connects to a rift. Yeah. You could just say this is a different dimension. It's like the rift energy rather than void energy. But I'm pretty sure Zaku uses void energy. Yeah, void damage type. They really should just turn that into rift as well.
Is another one that's supposed to use void energy.
Yep, and it's those ridiculous things. And there was also the quest where it was, Cephalon protected the sentience from.
Yeah, okay.
It was all stupid. But as for the Grineer, now, yes, a Grineer with a shovel can kill a sentient because it's force, and force is physical forces, the cutting edge is that, but they will still adapt to different things. Like there's the other that for that one lore entry of like, oh look, this Grineer with a shovel killed them. That means all Grineer should be really good at it. Then there's the other one when they first introduced them, and a whisper round shoots it, and then it becomes immune to the whisper round. Now, seeing as it's a round and not a energy beam or something, I assume it is a bullet or a type of bullet, maybe a monomolecular spinning bullet or something. Well, but they still adapt to it. The thing is, though, that it is just harder for them to resist to become immune to those things. Yeah, But they've just completely removed that. They've removed all that. They're just enemies. You just kill them. There's nothing special about them anymore.
Do you remember like the following thing? What happens in tandem with the immunity?
Yeah. It's split in two.
Yeah, it spawns two.
Yeah, it spawns two, and both are immune.
Yes, and it's just like that. That's never appeared anywhere, ever.
Yeah, well, it's okay. The problem is there's a trade-off, because eventually you can't have it that they can become completely immune to all damage types just from shooting them, because then they would just win the game. You couldn't beat them.
Yeah.
But part of me thinks that would be a cool enemy to try and for them to come up with ways for you to fight, and they did with the you have to remove the debuffs. It's like, that's a good idea. That's cool. It's a blending of gameplay styles. Maybe just need to be worked on upon. A bit more to it. That maybe you could clear a whole area in one go or something. Well, you could build up your powers of wiping and creating debuffs on them. There's things they could have done. Instead, they just went, and they're enemies.
Yeah.
Just kill them. Yeah. So I don't mind too much that Kahl's Krakata kills through them, because it just the sentients have already been gutted lore wise in so many ways.
I think the biggest thing for me is the fact that even though it's the disparity between how the players have such a tough time fighting them, whereas Kahl just goes rat-a-tat-tat.
Well, it should have been that there was very few of them, right? So that one sentient battlist should have been a boss for Kahl.
Yeah.
He should, and seeing as they added Nama, and they added the I can't remember what the name of it, the little weird suicide little sentient.
Yeah.
Seeing as they added those at the same time, no, I think they added them in Scarlet Spear actually, but find that Kahl kills those little widget ones, or in fact come up with even smaller ones for him to fight. But the fact is, if he fights a battlist, that's a boss fight for him. There we go. That enables the scale to continue. It's like, yes, he can kill a battlist, but that's like a normal enemy for us. But to him, that's a boss fight.
Yeah.
Instead, they just had it that he just started chewing through battlists like there was no tomorrow.
Yep.
He eats battlists for breakfast.
Yep. Just like other breakfasts.
Yep. And they could have added a lore thing actually of the seeing as I assume these are the sentients that came back from Tau the normal way through space, because they can make more of themselves, from what I can tell.
Yeah. So there's part of a problem with this. Part of the problem is that there's a lore entry in, I think it's the fish on
Planes.
On planes. I kept on wanting to say Orvalis and Fortuna. On planes that basically say that the Kuva will restore the regenerative properties of the sentients so they can start reproducing again.
Right, so either way, either they never lost it or they've been able to gain some Kuva and regain it. They can make more, right? So, yeah, but maybe make it that the ones that Kahl fights are missing some other organic structure that allows them to be that was in abundance back in the Orokin time, but the sentients ate it all up and all those got killed in the war. And so these ones, the newer ones, like make them a different color, make them a different name, make them a strain like the infested have. And so they're a newer one, which are more fragile, but they can make more, right? So it makes sense. So it allows for why we're fighting more enemies, why Kahl's going to tear through them. Instead, it's like, no, this is a sentient. You're like, yeah, but that means Kahl could be tearing through a creature which is 10,000 years old because it came from the war and it was designed and it fought the Orokin. Kahl's like, I got Gokatas.
Yeah.
But the thing that why that's so sorry, this is the one point I forgot to bring up about this of why this doesn't make sense, right? The Orokin had better Grineer than we have. Our Grineer are the repeated recloning attempts of the original Grineer.
Yeah, but they've also been enhanced with cybernetics.
True, but I'm pretty sure whatever cybernetics won't be as good as whatever the Orokin could give their ones. I'm pretty sure those Grineer, the beautiful Grineer, the Squidward Grineer, are going to be stronger and better than our Grineer.
I'd be interested to know, are there actually Orokin equivalent Grakatas? Like, are there pretty guns as well that the Grineer had, but they couldn't afford to keep making the same style of Grakata?
I can't. Yeah, seeing as Grakata is literally just a bullet hose I can't believe that the Orokin, with all their technology, were like, right, what we need to do is get a box full of bullets and strap it to a hose and hand it to every Grineer. Oh, we've won.
Yeah.
You know, was that it? No. What we're going to do, right? What we're going to do is we're going to send children into another dimension, have them be horrified, take them out. Then we're going to get some other people, infect them, turn them into a war crime of the Engineer Convention, and then we're going to combine these two things, and then we're going to make another thing, and then I'm going to get some guns and give that to whatever stupid creature I just created. Versus, I got these Grineer which I can mass produce, which I'm sure they can clone better than the Grineer can, you know, more. And I got this box of bullets, and I got this hose, and then I'm going to make that as a metal box of bullets, and I can just keep producing these out, and then I win. You see it? So the Grineer shouldn't be. They should be okay. They should be able to fight them better than the Corpus can. The Corpus should just fall over versus the That, you know, if you took the Orokin and you took them apart, you've got, you know, the Grineer side and the Corpus, because, you know, together they're part of the Orokin Empire. The Grineer should be doing a lot better at fighting sentience than the Corpus should.
No, I agree with you.
Right. Still, there we go. Anyway, right, that's it for that. That is the end of the topics. I think that's it. Oh, we got memes. No, we got memes, haven't we?
Yeah, time for memes. So, memes. Right. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
I'm just going to look at them on the screen because Right, so the first meme.
So all these memes come from... Oh, did you push the thing for memes?
Yeah.
Okay. All these memes come from the r/memeframe subreddit. It's a cool subreddit where people will do it. All the links are in the description below, along with, and there's 2 this week, secret memes of the week, which are little videos, because I found 2 that I just enjoyed. I do think I owe people double memes either next week or the week after, so I'll sort that out. Anyway, Kahl knows no fear. A regular common Grineer Lancer, the Tenno with years of training, void powers, and the most powerful arsenal, but several farming traumas. Yep. I thought it was great when the wolf turned up. Oh, it was so cool.
Yep. Number 2?
Right, meme number 2. Bomb, wipe out, get up and do it again. Expectation, reality.
Yep, 2 true. Number 3.
Meme number 3.
Oh, sorry, hold on. That's broken. Sorry, I remembered I need to fix this. Map. Yep.
Only the dead have seen the end of war. Plato. Not if I have anything to say about it. Not so friendly neighborhood necromancer.
Yep. Far too true.
Meme number 4.
Oh,
okay. This one hasn't sized very well. Okay, it says a fated meeting. There's 2 players right next to each other. One is throw a brick at my face, and the second player is a flying brick.
Awesome.
Meme number 5. Gonna punch the shit out of those acolytes. Normal people using frames that are actually good for nuking. Me upgrading the shit out of Atlas to have the most devastating landslide possible.
Lol.
And the final one, a meme for Xeno.
Okay.
Oh god, how many is this? That's what, 1, 2, 3. That's million, billion, trillion. Okay, 18,707,042,049,294 days of the goat being power crapped out of the game. Grendel, you're really Oberon.
Yep. I'm not.
Yep. I might have got that number wrong. Please correct me in the comments if I did. Yep.
I'm not. I don't remember D giving that much attention to Grendel.
No, that's the point though. Everyone wants Grendel buffs, and Ureli needs buffs.
No one cares about Oberon.
No one cares about Oberon.
Well, that's because Oberon's good as he is. Yeah, I know how it is. Right. Anyway, so let's move on to the last section of the show, the community shoutouts. Right. Okay. So I'm just gonna point out we might see some jank in the footage in a second. If we don't, I'll actually skip to it for the end. But right. So the first community shout out.
Oh, you easy art this month, haven't you? All this Tenno stuff.
Oh yeah, right. So day 6, Twin, by V Chris Edge.
Chris Edge.
Chris Edge. V Chris Edge. There you go.
Or Christige.
Well,
I'm trying to see what that is.
Oh, so you got like a Tenno who's wielding two katanas against a Dax. Or a
it's like you can see from above. To me, I was like, "Where's the neck?" I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. Well, it's not above. It's like an anime pose kind of thing.
Yeah. Right.
So the fifth community shout out is fifth.
Fifth?
The second community shout out is Day 5 Anime by Versider.
I thought you didn't like Urelli.
This is a good piece of art, though. I like art. Art's good. It's alright to like
it's Urelli art. You can't like
Fine.
Art.
The third community shout out is Day 5 Mag Prime by Zlidy.
Mag was actually my very first Warframe. I still remember taking my first steps in this vast game many years ago. Yep.
And still looks like a miner for coal. Right?
Without a bottom jaw.
Yeah, without a bottom jaw. Right. The fourth community shout out is Day 5 Anime by Electro.
Is this a pigeon? Yes, it is.
Right. The fifth community shout out is Revenant Prime by Dasa Creations.
Look at that.
He does look like a meaty boy.
I've just bought Revenant Prime, so I need to play him.
Yep. The sixth community shout out is Day 4 Edge by Underground Copium Seller. I thought that is by far the best name I have ever heard for someone. Right?
Yep.
And then last but not least is Avara by Kosh A. Or Kosh A.
Guys, how do you like such Avara?
Yeah.
Very much. Very much.
There you go. And that is it for this week's community shoutouts. They look absolutely amazing. And now I'm going to skip through the footage because I just want to show you how jank. So we were trying to do the steel path for me, and this is the last node of Jupiter I have left to do. But it bugged. Like Nazeth verbally exclaimed at how much he didn't want to do this fight. But anyway, so I'm just going to skip through it to show you where it completely and utterly broke.
It looks like, you're fighting the boss.
No, I'll show you where. Oh, trust me, you'll see it. Like, you can't not see it. Right, so fighting the boss. Quite a slow fight when you're doing it on Steel Path. Where are we on this? So at one point in time, King of Nightmare attracts the Rope-a-Dope, or is it Nazeth? One of the two of them attracts the Rope-a-Dopalist over to the last pillar. And here we go. I try to jump on there, and then that. I'm playing the animation of grappling onto the Rope-a-Dopalist. Because I try to grab onto the Rope-a-Dopalist at the same time I try to grab onto the wire at the same time Nazeth tried to grab onto the Rope-a-Dopalist.
Okay.
And I am stuck like this.
Right, okay, but can't they just kill... Or is the Rope-a-Dopalist
he's grabbed me, and he slams me into the ground at some point, and then I'm back to trying to grab the Rope-a-Dopalist. And then okay, here's another solution. Okay, well, he picked me up again. So I'll just go off the edge. Or I maybe decide to. Here we go. Yeah. And off the edge. Nope. It is still busted.
You see, and this is where self-damage would be a... Oh, I suppose you can't shoot anything like this, actually, can you?
Nope, I can't. Can't use abilities, can't get in my operator, can't do none. And the problem is, we got all the way to the bleeding.
And wait, so can't they kill it?
No, I'm just about to show you. So basically, you can see the health bar at the very top.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, slowly going down. So
here we go. We're just about to kill it, and then hit the laser, and we hit the laser.
Don't know why you're trying to hit the laser.
Well, it's because one of the things I can do. Right, here we go.
Well, don't, because you're bugged.
The thing is just too far off the center of the damn platform and is stuck and won't move.
Why were you trying to push the laser, though?
It doesn't matter.
No, it could have been because you were bugged.
No, because it falls off the edge and spawns right back at the edge of the damn platform. It's too far from the side of the from the center of the platform.
What's too far?
It is. It needs to be stood in the center, otherwise it won't take the damage.
But it's invincible.
What do you mean it's invincible?
Its health bar at the top is invincible. It's bugged into it. You've bugged it into invincibility mode. You bugged it when you used
I did not bug it. It's just
you bugged it.
Yes,
you bugged it. You pushed the button in an unconfirmed state, and then you bugged it into invincibility. Its health was stuck in an invincible phase.
Well, it wasn't my fault.
Yes, you pushed the button.
Just because I pushed the button. Anyone could have pushed the button. It would have still happened.
They weren't bugged at the time of pushing the button. Why are you compounding bugs?
You're compounding bugs.
You should have sat in the corner and been a good boy.
What do you mean being good boy?
Should have been a good boy.
And supporters aren't appearing. I don't know
I'm bugged now. I'll let everyone see. Look, look what you've done. You've bugged the supporters for Patreon.
It wasn't
piling bugs upon bugs. Look, they're just there. Where they've gone.
Where?
You've bugged them.
I wonder if it's currently
He's
down.
just he's bugception.
That's the,
Look at
you're being mean to me.
Because you're bugging the bugs.
Why are you being so mean to me?
That's
Bye,
the bug
everyone.
Bye, everyone. We're going to go hunt for supporters for bug fixing.